How am I live? Oops. Okay, let's end. Let's, oh my gosh. Look at me. This is so ridiculous. Who goes live when they're not ready? Me. So let me find my glasses. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for the little shenanigans at the beginning of this live stream. I don't have a social media manager. It's just me and my laptop getting ready to come live with y'all and share what I know from an experience and a professional standpoint. So, hello everybody. Hope that this live catches you in good standing and in a good place emotionally and mentally and all the places that you need to be strong at in your life. I hope this live catches you there. This audience mainly is intended for anyone who wants to learn more about how to connect with students in a classroom environment, how to keep kids engaged in a classroom environment, and how you can learn and get some tips and strategies on things that you might want to do differently in your classroom environment. So, hello, my name is Coach Sunny D from Sunshine Bridges LLC, and I am your educational coach today, coming to share some information and knowledge base about what I know about student connections and the art of student connections, right? And this is not going to be a traditional live backed with years and years and years of dated research in tested environments that aren't really authentic to what we're actually experiencing in classrooms. But what this will be is just a real honest conversation about what I know for sure after 20 plus years in the classroom, teaching in what's known as Title I schools, which is typically lower socioeconomic schools inside of what we know as the hood, and just sharing things that I know from being a special education teacher for 20 plus years in the city of Detroit, working with students from the third grade all the way up to the 12th grade in the past 20 years, working both in special education and in the general educational setting. So, and loads of personal development trainings as it relates to being an educator and things of that nature. So that's enough of my accolades for now because it's really not about that as much as it is about what I want to share with you today. So today I want to share with you how you can connect better with students, specifically talking to teachers. Right now, I guess you can say I'm talking to K through 12 teachers. But honestly, this works at any level as you make whatever adjustments that need to be made. This can adjust at any level. So, connection. Now, traditionally speaking, when you think about how to work with students, you're usually in a professional development program at the beginning of your school year. Your school has hired some people to come in and train you, or sometimes, as we know, they'll try to train you themselves, right? And show you, what it is that you should be doing, give you all these long documents to read at home on your leisure time. And we're not even going to talk about the damage that does for your mental and emotional health and your self-care. Let's just stay focused on our subject today, right? But you guys who are teachers, you know where I'm going with this, correct? So we're drawn through all these different professional developments and PDs, and a lot of times these people have not even worked in the environments that we're working in. They come with this cookie cutter type approach to engaging and managing and educating students in the classroom, typically in the inner city, typically in the Title I classroom, typically in these online classrooms now as a result of the pandemic, and a lot of educational platforms have gone online. And these things are very challenging because all children were created equally, but all children aren't having equal access to all the things that have been created. Yeah, need me to say that again? All right. So, with that being said, we're going to have to tweak some of these strategies to some things that we know are more effective, right? And when we're engaging with students in the classroom. Now, for some, this might be a very what is the word that I want to choose for this? This might be a very triggering conversation because a lot of people, a lot of times, especially in educational systems, we get so wrapped up in research based and this, that, and the other, but we're living it. Can I get an amen? We're living it. And as a result of living it in these classrooms, different schools throughout your careers, you learn and you see the reality of things. And sometimes it does not align up with this research that someone did 20, 30 years ago because we're living in a different world now, right? And I've been involved in some research studies before. And what I know is people react differently when they're prompted. If they know that what they're doing is going to be a part of something big, people are going to see you, and this is kind of the prompting that goes on. People are going to see you, and guys might be in books and television. Then the behavior is not going to be as authentic as we educators know that behavior is when students don't think anyone's watching. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, let me share some classroom tips and strategies centered in the foundation of connecting and building relationships with students in the K through 12 classroom. So, as an educator coming from the background of special education, my certification is endorsed in the area of autism. And I've been a research teacher, I've been a self contained teacher, I've been a co teacher. I mean, all the things you name it, I can claim it. And over these years, I've learned that there's a lot of different approaches being in all these different teachers' classrooms. As a result of being a special educator, you get a different viewpoint, a vantage point that a lot of teachers, administrators, and others just don't get the opportunity to receive. You get to see all the things that teachers do that are working and all the things that teachers do that are not working, right? You get to see all the different approaches and strategies and posters and voice levels and engagement. I mean, I'm talking about from the teacher who talks really low to the very dynamic and bold teacher. You get to see the teacher who just sits at their desk to the teachers who's right there in the midst of it and right there in the game with them, right? Engaging and moving around and just doing all these different things. You get to see the professional teacher versus the teacher who's always gossiping with a visitor that's coming through their classroom. And see, all of this is relative to connecting with your children because you're always teaching, right? So let's just run right into what I want to talk about. So, when building connections with kids, you have to be very consistent. Children are watching your every move. They're like the animals in the wild, not to call children animals, but just think about in the wild how there's a hunting spirit, how there's a free spirit, and how everything that you're doing is being watched and mimicked to some degree. Okay. And so when you approach education and you want to connect with children, you have to be intentional on purpose. If you're not intentional on purpose, they can and they will not only catch you slipping, but pounce on you like a baby lion. Okay. Yes, they will. So, one of the things that I always tell teachers to do is be mindful of your behavior, your words, your manner of speaking, the way you dress, the way your body language, the way you engage with other adults, the energy level that you bring to the classroom, all of that stuff matters. If you start off like that in August or whenever your respective school years begin, being aware of just those few things. It's so many more, but just those few things. And if you want to dissect them a little bit, I would love to do a part two to this video, but I honestly want to keep this video 10 minutes long. I didn't want to go above and beyond 10-minute videos right now. This is just me sharing things with other teachers who may come across my video, who may discover my content, and want to just get some tips and strategies from the things that may be just bewildering them in education as teachers, as we know, are leaving the feel at an astronomical rate. And it's not only due to the pandemic. Some we've been, we've been going through these things. We've been in the thick of it for a while. And I just want to help someone, particularly a new teacher or a veteran teacher or a teacher that's near retirement, get a second win and possibly use some of these strategies that they may never have known about or may have forgotten about. So never forget that connection is rooted and grounded in the foundation of not only being trying to entertain children. It's not even about that. I shouldn't even say it not only. It's not even about that. It's not trying to be their friends. It's not trying to be overly relatable. It's honestly in the beginning of the school year, they're watching everything you do. Be mindful because you are their role model. They're watching you to see what type of behavior is acceptable to you. So if you're sitting at your desk lethargic and teaching and sounding like Charlie Brown's teacher, for those of you who are youngums, look up Charlie Brown and the teacher, womp, 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 womp. If that is you, then that's the energy they're going to mimic, okay? If you're the teacher who's mousy and nervous and doesn't want to speak up, then they're going to run all over you. If you're the teacher who's not responsive to the behaviors that they're displaying it right there in front of your face because you're so engaged with another adult and you guys are catching up on the juicy gossip of the building, then they're not going to respect you when you begin to perform when visitors, administrators, or other adults come into the room. Mind my words. This is the foundation of connecting with students. All right, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, students, administrators, parents, and anyone else who comes across this video, please like, tag, and share. Please like, tag, and share. I look forward to doing more of these. If you would like a part 2 for me to go deeper into this, whereas I know for a fact our next conversation will go deeper into this, but you might want to hear more of something that I mentioned. Be sure to reach out, like, tag, share. This is Miss Sharon D from the D, aka Miss Sunshine Bridges. But ladies and gentlemen, you can call me Coach Sunny D. Happy Saturday.